Hello, welcome to Loading Screen the Game, where your host Brandon, aka Alcoholic Titan, aka that guy, will watch the stream with you. Hey everybody, so we're back with Biomutant, if that wasn't obvious, if you couldn't read that text, because I'm having a hard time fucking seeing it. White on white, not the best design choice. Also, is that supposed to be the moon in the background? Like, what's up with that fucking moon, dude? Can I see the moon in the sky? Like a big pizza pie? I should check for that next time. So sorry, brain. Oh, malfunction. We've, killed 3 of the world eaters. We're on the last one. We have to go talk to, her, apparently. So I guess we should go talk to her first, huh? Just closer. My thing's still broken, as it will remain for the rest of time and space. But yeah, I think we're getting close. We're getting close to the end. We're getting close to the end, so that'll be neat to know. I'm definitely feeling like, you know, I kind of want to be there. But, you know, it's a new day. I'm not as moody as I was the other day. Though I haven't eaten yet, so I probably will end up being as moody. You know, just give it a bit. You know. Give it a bit till I'm hungry at, like, you know, maybe like an hour or 2 in. And, I'm sure my whining will increase as we slowly progress in the game, and probably have some, like, another 10-step quest to help somebody get a item that I need to ride on to.
Look out for Nono hiding in the glitter grass.
Where's the glitter grass? I spout more amazing ideas for ways to change this game, because I am apparently a god at game design. Self-prescribed, of course. This isn't glitter glass. Oh fuck! I mean, I've already got 3 of the 4 things. I want to, you know. Can you see on the map? I'm not seeing one. One of those right there. How do I... That's right. You can't, for some reason, you can't just, you know, place markers on the map. You have to... Where'd you go? Come on, buddy. You have to have, like, a marker there previously, or else it doesn't work. Which I think is quite silly. But, you know. What do I know? I keep getting fucking messages from some kind of, like, Amazon game jam, and I'm like, I can't fucking code. I'm not taking part in your Amazon game jam. It's like, think, you like multiplayer games, think like Among Us, or something else, I don't remember. But, like, you know, I'm not gonna participate in that kind of thing. I don't really know what I would do. You know? As I mentioned, I can't really code. I guess if I were to try to make a video game, right? I think I'd probably try to, like, make a good, like, TTT standalone game kind of thing, right? Because I don't think Trouble in Terrorist Town is trademarked by anybody specifically. And as long as it's, you know...
You've stumbled into the mushy mosh mire, where the risk of getting forever stuck is omnipresent, regardless of whether you want it or not.
Cool. You know, I don't think it's technically trademarked by anybody because it's like a mod for Gary's mod. Come on. So I think like, you know, because I don't think there are any kind of good trouble. Like, I know there's like if you play VR chat, I don't know if it's like Pavlov is what they do it on, or if it's something else, maybe. How do you fucking get up this stupid rock? I don't. It's like kind of hard to tell. I don't think you can. You have to, because there's a thing up there. I need like a fucking flyer. Oh, or just you know, a sufficiently separated chunk of rockage. Yeah, but like, you know, I think you can make like a cool TTT-esque game. Cause like, you know, there are a lot of like you know, there are a lot of trader kind of games you can play right now, right? But not many of them are shooters.
Nono are nearby. You got it dialed in. See where that line leads.
Right, because, you know, for example, I know there's one, like, about, like, the, being on a boat and, like, sailing through the Arctic, right? And then, you know, two of the people want you to, well, I assume it's only two. I don't exactly know how much the game goes up to. But, you know, some of the people want you to die in the Northern Passage. Others want you to survive and make your ship out of there, which looks pretty cool. Right, and it has some shooter elements to it. But, is that horse coming, or? And then there's like, you know, I think there's one called like Crazy Spaceman that was like a shooter one, but it's like the issue with that game is that, you know, the trader has too much of an advantage, right? So every game's got its own problems. So I mean, you know, I think you can make a cool like shooter based game that does that. That basically is like a standalone TTT. And would probably do pretty well.
Check out the script.
Because a lot of people play TTT, right?
Wonder what's behind it.
So imagine, you know, if you play TTT, but without the requirements of having to download everything from fucking, you know, every Valve game, and making sure your shit's together in the right order. Because, you know, the very small amounts of Gary's mod that I've played in terms of multiplayer stuff, the main issue I've had with it is that fucking SMG textures never work. No matter how many times I install every part of Source, I can never get the SMG textures to work. Plus, you know, I mean, I used to play a little bit of Death Run and whatnot back in my heyday of existence before I really did any kind of streaming stuff or anything like that. So, you know, don't try to look for it if that's what you want to see. Let me know though if that's, you know, something you'd be more interested in. But at the same rate, I don't know if doing that kind of thing on public servers would be a good idea or a bad one. To me, it feels like a bad one, you know. That's how you get somebody to say a word which gets you in a lot more trouble. Less trouble than if you said it, but, you know, more trouble than if it was not said at all. I'd like to try to avoid those words, though the implication is so, right? 100% too. I like to push the barrier of what can get me in trouble. It's fun. Because it's not like anybody's watching anyway. So, you know, if I ever do get in trouble, I'll at least know somebody's watching. And then, you know, that they cared enough to report it, I guess. I mean, I'm sure if you really wanted to, you could find something. 100% sure that I've uploaded at least one or two videos of me saying something a little bit too dodgy. I mean, fuck, there was that time I got auto to read out, you know, a similar sounding. Like, you know, when they do those, people make fake donations to do, like, you know, can you give a shout out to my boy Nick? And then they give a last name that, you know, makes it a little bit more dodgy. So, I'm not sure everybody knows that famous clip for Nick's. This two, like, I think they were like big video game. Not they weren't video game shooters. They were gonna announcers or something. Like they were announcing for me. Just one quick second, let me tab out so I can click on OBS and tell it to calm its tits. They were announcing for some video game event, and one of the person asked for a shout out for their friend's birthday, and his name was Nick. And you know, boy oh boy, Nick actually wasn't his name. Beautiful. Where are those? Probably in here.
Go on, catch it.
Excellent. Speaking of tapping X, I don't know what that was. It's fine. It's whatever. Yeah, but you know. I always had issues making sure everything was obtained for a TTT or death run, or plus, like, you know, you always had to learn NTM. You always had to load in the excess crap, right? So, like, you know, whichever insane skins they added, or other extra mods and add-ons for servers and all that. So I'm 100% sure that, you know, if you kind of consolidated that, right, the issue would be, obviously, you wouldn't be able to get certain skins and stuff, right? Like, I mean, Hatsune and Miku is owned by somebody, right? You can't, I'm sure you could play, you know, you can play as Hatsune in the hit game Gmod, but I think it'd be a little bit more difficult to get around stuff. But you could mod it, probably, you know, get, like, you know, make it moddable. To people, if people wanted to add all the extra faff to their stuff, you know. But I think it'd be pretty cool. Pretty good game idea. Only because, like, you know, it's already a well-established game. And it'd be introduced to a lot more people. White leaves tend not to be a good sign. What, you know. I'm sure I didn't kill the tree instead of healing it. Well, I healed the tree of life. They get rid of all the goop around it, though, but, you know, it's healed, I guess. What do I know? I'm not a raccoon man living in the year 2078 in his raccoon-based trash hole. What I would give to be a raccoon man living in his raccoon-based trash hole in the year 2578. Watching the days go by. That's been in my head all day. I did some errands, so, you know, of course, the only time I ever listen to music is when I'm doing errands, so. Boy. So he's mixed up two of the creatures there. So that was one of the songs I listened to. Because somebody else was in the car with me. I never listen to, like, podcast kind of stuff when I'm in the car with myself, or music sometimes. Sometimes music, not all the time. It's usually more that podcast stuff because it's deadbeat enough that my brain doesn't latch onto it and I can pay attention more on the driving than it does the stuff. But I can also talk about how much I hate the person who I'm listening to. But it's only a decent way to get that kind of content. Because, you know, that site's for garbage people. And I'll leave you to figure out what site that is.
She wonders if the rumors she's heard about you finding the Ark are true. She's thrilled you found one. There's nothing you can't do. With the world recovering, the Ark would be a wonderful way to see it. So much faster than even her favorite gnotes. Loves that you did your best to help the world rather than hurt it. You could have used much more of that, even before you returned. Any idea who might be joining you on your Arky journeys?
So, what we have here is an opportunity.
Why? You don't need...
If you want to go quickly,
Animal
go
breeder
alone.
seems like a good idea.
If you want to go further, go together. The only one we'd want to get away quickly from here is darkness.
But you know you can't go on without me. Even if I'm bad company, I complete you.
I think we can finally agree on something. It is better to be alone than in bad company. But best of all is being good company yourself.
But
Feels deeply honoured that you'd want her to come with you. An ark is no ganote, but she can't pass this up. She's coming aboard. But who knows she's known for saying things over again.
oh, good. I completed all 20 dialogue things. Hopefully,
Says you should.
I guess before I should. I kind of want to, right? I was gonna bring this guy with us, so I could warp over there, go talk to this guy. But then warp over here, talk to that guy for the main quest. Because I'm assuming there's a I'm on a mount. Why can't I fast travel on a mount, game? Is it really that hard for you to remove me from the mount and fast travel me? Such a silly concept. Yeah. What was I talking about? How about the, you know, I was talking about, I think I finished the conversation on what I was listening to in the car. There's just a bunch of, like, old rock, more or less. Because, it's kind of partially what I'm into. Yeah. I didn't, no anime today. No anime music. Or other game type stuff. I was just, you know, it was a playlist YouTube put together. It's easier to get my shit from YouTube because, you know, say what you want about YouTube, and trust me, I will happily say a million bad things about YouTube. But, they're semi-decent giving you, they're semi-decent at giving you, that's cool glitch right there. The rocket's gone, but the sparks still reigns. Giving you recommendations for stuff. It's semi-decent. It's very clear. Apparently, a lot of people getting recommendations for some kind of weird, like, this weird video. I don't know. I saw like a meme about it today, but I'm like, I didn't get nothing like that. But to be fair, any channel that I don't watch actively, I tell it to fuck off with the recommendations.
He's helped out of date to get the Ark hardware restored. There's just some wiring left to do before the vessel's ready for takeoff. He just needs to reroute the excessive high spark to run through the proper plug in the system so it won't break the path if it blows. Gizmo isn't sure you'll need to make use of the Ark, though. It looks like your efforts to save the tree and the world are paying off. He knows your good-hearted nature means you won't leave him behind, but you need to work on yourself if he's going to be isolated with you in the Ark. There are things you don't see eye to eye on. It's not that he doesn't care about others, but the fact that the Ark only has 4 extra seats means you have to be picky when choosing company.
Yeah, and they...
So, what we have here is an opportunity.
Why? You don't.
If you want to go,
But you know.
They're just saying the same stuff. As soon as we're done with the dialogue
He's
now,
been
they're just giving the same
thinking
shit.
this whole thing with the Ark through and has decided he won't be joining you. First off, he isn't 100% sure he's got the wiring right, and really, he doesn't think he can stand being in that enclosed space with you for long. Gizmo will always make time for you. Says you should...
Wow. So he turned down the seat. I don't know what I fucking did to hurt this guy. But okay, whatever, dude. Whatever, man. It's no big deal. I wanted to go there. This is easier than having to walk the entire distance of the map. A little bit of teleporting early on, you know? Save us a little bit of sanity. Never just I don't know why he doesn't like me. Maybe it's stuff I said to him as a kid. But, you know, I'm fairly light-oriented, so you'd assume that, you know, I'm not Pissing him off because of darkness. I guess maybe he's just not light oriented. Who knows? Whom knows? Who cares, really? It's a bunch of fake... Oh, fuck! I hit A again. I don't know why I didn't glide. You know. Suicide. It's painless. Brings on many changes. I could take it, leave it if I please. Wheels of time turn everything. Cause suicide is painless. Brings on many changes. Sorry, trash on my desk thrown away. It's myself. Right the trash can. Dude, if you could. Probably would. Can I float this time instead of just, you know, descending into nothingness? Is that a preference, really? Nope. For some reason, he refuses to glide over the pit. Okay. Just so we're clear that it wasn't me fucking it up last time. Should we try again? Just in case, you know, to make sure it wasn't me fucking it up. And the days go by, water hold me under. This time I'll walk around like a regular fucking sentient fox. I don't understand why I can't jump over the cliff. I figured the first time it was just because, like, sometimes, right? I've been known to fuck up the button presses. So I thought it was just, you know, me fucking it up the first time.
But there are more pressing matters at hand.
War.
The last World Eater has been left undisturbed with the tree while you focused on the war.
I didn't focus on
someone with your light perspective and key would have had different priorities and faced the World Eaters before resolving the tribe war.
There was a button that asked if I wanted to fucking solve the tribe war. I did that.
Out of Date understands the road has been rough, but you already know what's left to end this journey, and it'll be tough. You're the only one that's strong enough to face the last World Eater. The future depends on someone with a light perspective to give the world a chance to survive. Only time will tell what the future holds, and if it will bring a lasting peace for those that make it to the end. Out of Date says the word about what you've done so far is spreading. The tribes haven't lost hope yet. He appreciates what you've done so far, but unfortunately, he's had urgent news from his friend Wiz in the Northwest. He's unsure about your intentions, but hopes you'll support Wiz.
I felt like I'm being judged for claiming 2 tribes and then hitting the I don't want to fight the rest of them button.
That doesn't sound good. Out of Date's hunch is real. The Merc Puff is up next.
Just so we're clear, all I did was hit a button that said, I'm cool with ending it now. Everybody's can unite.
World Eater is stepping up its activity. He explains that Wiz is working on an undersurf vessel in order to get to the World Eater, but needs help to get it done. Out of Date suggests that you should head northwest as fast as possible and see what you can do to help. He's happy to help. Seems...
Like, I can't help but feel like I'm being judged for, like, doing something that I didn't do. Right? Like, 'cause so... If you've been watching, and if you haven't, let me just do a little quick catch-up, right? Part of the game's concept is that the tribes, there's, I think, like, 7 of them or something like that, they're at war with each other because, you know, they each had different leaders who all listened to your mom, but now your mom is dead, so, you know, they all been fighting each other because, you know, everybody's got to be tough. Super tough guy, man. So, you know. How did you get yourself fucking stuck in a rock? So you go around, right? You go around beating up all the guys, and you say, "I'm the toughest fox in the furry den." And you know, fucking. I'm sorry. I'm having a secondary conversation in my head now that I'm gonna make sure to get to right after this, because honestly, it's probably the most interesting thing that's happened to me this entire week. Just outlines another reason why I hate my family, but that's not the point. Just, you know, so you can help your tribe conquer the tribes through through diplomacy kind of ones, or like you're attacking their bases and you conquer their tribes, collect their weapons and whatnot, right? So after conquering, I think 2 or 3 tribes, the game was like, "Do you want to just, you know, stop the tribe war?" I'm like, "Yeah." Look, the tribe fights have all been essentially the same, like just a mixture of the same fights. Which, you know, is reasonable. You can't make fucking, like, you know, 20 different fights for each different territory and everything. Whatever. So, yeah, I'll just end it now. So, and I think they're fucking judging me for that? Like, oh, how dare you end the tribe war before completing killing all the world leaders. So, whatever. Okay, so now on to the next thing, right? So, yesterday my sister graduated from high school. Fuck me, of course, you know. Now I've got to be compared to that as well. But, she had a graduation dinner, which, of course, my family didn't do for me. Not the point. Point is, at this dinner, my fucking dad asks what a fucking furry is. And, of course, you know, I first off give a spit of disgust, because anybody who is legitimately a furry is probably also degenerate. And I am speaking from experience. I myself am not a furry. I would say that I know a couple furries. I at least know one, right? I don't remember if I know more, but I at least know one. I know he is a fucking degenerate. Very, very bad. Let's put it this way, right? We've definitely had to leave a couple of Skype calls back in the day because of him. And we'll leave it at that. You know, I won't tell you what he did. Just put, like, you know, we didn't want to stay in those Skype calls because we might get in some legitimate governmental trouble. And ain't exactly what we're looking for. But, oh, that's the another route. Yeah, there's SUNDIAL over there. Oh, fuck, we're right here. Let's do this real quick, folks. We're right here. But he asked what a furry is. Of course, I give my initial disgust at the concept of asking the question. And then I explain that it's somebody who identifies as the animal usually for sexual sexual pleasure, that kind of stuff, right? Because I feel like that's, you know, fair. I don't think I've ever really heard the term furry used in a positive light. Right? Nobody ever says, you know, "Oh man, I love furries," unless they themselves are a furry and mean that in a very literal sense. I don't really go on communities that are very furry friendly, or at least no. I definitely say, you know, the meme site I browse has furries on it, and they themselves are friendly with each other. But overall, you know, the opinion of furries is a negative one. I mean, fuck it. Even the memes, like, right, they're like, you know, people who hate furries are furries as well, you know. A lot of furries hate furries because a lot of them are disgusting and some of them are more moderate, I guess. I don't know. It's probably the same thing with, like, you know, oh, a lot of people who, like, a lot of people who are bad in video games, right, are, no, it's not. It's not. Okay, I was gonna say, is it that spot that I couldn't get up, and now, you know. I'm not gonna be upset about that as well. But, you know. And my sister's like, no, there are a lot of kids who dress up in fursuits and stuff like that. Right? Like kids who, first off, right, I had to explain, like, you know, a furry, usually, like, they got a fursuit, right, and it's like a fucking couple $1,000s, right? Those fursuits are expensive as shit, to my understanding, right? So from what I understand, those things are worth like $5,000 each. Something. That's probably, I'm probably lowballing it, right? I'm probably to the mid to low range on fursuit cost, right? For the ones people really fucking use, right? The ones people show off. So, you know, and I'm being treated like I'm the fucking weird one for knowing what this is. And I'm like, I'm sorry that I fucking use the internet for more than a fucking day of my life that I can figure out what a furry is.
Let you find some non-owners.
And somebody's like, I don't remember who said something about, like, you know, furries on Facebook. And I said, I don't think my mother browses the groups that would, you know, have furries on Facebook. They expose you to that on Facebook. Because Facebook's like a very, like, Facebook is like gated communities for everybody, right? Like, everybody gets their own little fucking circle. And that's understandable, right? Like, you know. Probably that one over there. Or that one up there. You know, so I'm like, I don't think my mother browses communities that would get her recommended to, like, furry groups on Facebook, right? It's like, but you do? I'm like, no, I fucking don't. Like, the site I use has furries on it, like, but, you know, and he's talking shit about me, because, like, you know, oh, all you think about is the internet. I'm like, you fucking asked a question, what do you want from me? You know, like, he's just a real fucking cocksucker of a person. And that's coming from me, who's like, I'm terrible in and of myself. You know, I'm no fucking saint, that's for sure. I'm a terrible human being and should be put to death for my crimes against humanity. But, that isn't to say that fucking...
Small's Mart is a favourite thingamajig broker. Let's see.
Getting treated like shit because you asked a fucking question about literal degenerates on the internet. Like, you know... I'm sorry that I was able to answer your question, I guess.
Claims to have strange things wouldn't be...
Don't fucking care what he's... You know. So, of course, shit's on me for fucking telling him what the answer to the question is. Because my fucking sister's there, like, I'm getting a little suspect of her. Like, I was gonna say sus, but I'd rather fucking shoot myself. You know. Because she's like, you know, there are kids who are furries. I'm like, no. Right? You're not a furry until, like, you're, like, 18 and you're identifying as a fucking... Like, until you are... I think, right, if you are in anything under high school and wearing, like, animal memorabilia, you're safe, right? It's once you enter that, like, late middle school to high school range that you're really, like, you're actively making choices to identify as this thing, and then that you're, fucking garbage and you need to be cold, essentially. For lack of any better brain process right now. You know, I don't think very highly of furries. Especially not the ones who are sexual deviants. Because, it's pretty fucking weird with the, shit I've seen. I'm like, you're right. I don't go looking for that stuff.
The densest jungle in the land.
Okay? I know, I swear. But, you know. Not to say I've seen pictures of anthropomorphic animals, right? Like, fuck the pokey fuckers, right? Like, I've seen that shit too, right? Like, you know, you go on a meme site all day, you're gonna find weird shit, right? I don't block anything. Heck, the only thing I do block on the meme site I fucking go to, right, is the wholesome tag. Because I'm so fucking tired of seeing, like, you know, oh, be happy with yourself. Oh, I love you. Like, shut up, man. Like, fucking wholesome stuff is so disgusting to me. Because 9 times out of 10, it's some guy who doesn't know you saying they appreciate you for who you are and blah, 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 blah. I just find it, you know, if that's your shit, sure, whatever, dude. You know, fucking get your motivation from some weirdo on the internet telling you that they appreciate you without ever having met you or knowing about you or any of that jazz. That's your shit. I block it because I don't want to see, like, 50 fucking cute cat videos and
Still relatively together.
a guy playing ball with his kid.
Let's see it. You need to give the tensioners on the machine head a matching adjustment to get the twing twang in tune.
You know, I'm not. It's not my fucking cup of tea, and I don't care for all the motivational crap.
That sounds delicious. You're full of pluck.
Right, like I can keep myself motivated by the pure fury of my existence. I don't need, like, take a moment to love yourself. ugh. You know, again, if that's your thing, dude, whatever. You know, I'm not gonna tell you to stop. I'm not gonna make you stop. I'm not gonna even suggest you to. Well, I might suggest you should stop. I think that, you know, one's own existence should be burnt out entirely on their own force of will, but that's because the only thing keeping me alive is my spite to reality and my desire to see those who have wronged me burn. If only I could do it with my own hands. God, I would kill so many people. Like at least 5. I've got at least 5 people I want so fucking so dead.
You found the Moly Hole outpost, an old Pichu tribe hole in the wall.
You know what I mean? I'm sure, like, right, fuck, there was like this, there was this fucking post, right, and it was like, something about a woman who's like, if your man don't want to murder somebody, he ain't a real man, he's a little girl or something.
Let's see.
And somebody's like, what the fuck's wrong with you? And it's like, you know, oh my god, is this guy like got a snake tail or something? You know, and I don't think you should really want to do that kind of stuff. I like the moose. Too bad I can't have more than one riot mount. But, you know, I definitely have the self-control not to go around murdering people. Doesn't mean that I don't have people I don't have people that I wish were dead. I mean, would it improve my life? Probably not. Would it bring me some amount of joy? Yes. And while that is, in a way, wrong, so as long as I'm not acting on these violent fucking tendencies, right? You know, I'm not a school shooter. I've never committed a real crime. At least not a violent crime. I'm definitely sure I'm at least, you know, God. I'm sure that I'm at least guilty of some crime, probably like petty theft or something. I mean, I've gotten legitimately obtained games before, so I mean that's a crime, right? Piracy, torrenting, and whatnot. I've never torrented. I don't know how to fucking use the torrents, but you know, I will definitely say I've played games that were not purchased from their fuck off, heal up full shit. I'm sitting here fighting your ass. And you're gonna pretend like, you know, I walked out of range. You're here with me. It's one thing if, like, I walked away from you. It's another thing if your constant beating of my ass has required me to back up to such a point in degree that, you know, oh my god. This guy doesn't get stunned. It's annoying. I don't understand what the point of having the parry notification is if you can't parry. Right? Like, if they're not gonna get stunned by it, then don't fucking show me the parry notification. Just because half the time I can't parry because I'm too busy slicing.
You just found a fixer-upper. Wonder what finally just put one foot in front of the other. Easy. You run like the wind.
But my sister's over there like, you know, oh, they're kids in fursuits, and I'm like, I have never seen, who would give their child a $1,000 fursuit to wear? And it's like, my brother's like, oh, you know, remember that fox head that I got for that school project once? That's something that somebody a furry would wear. I'm like, yes, but that's not a fursuit, right? That's not the same thing. It's just like a Halloween fox head that he has. That he got for like a school project because he needed to be like something orange or something like that. Or it was like a book I don't remember, but you know. It's like, you know, there's a difference between wearing something like that, like fucking, remember, I think I talked about it on stream previously, but there was this girl I saw a video of. I can't remember if I talked to somebody else about this or it was on stream, but it was like a TikTok video. I don't have TikTok. I just, meme site. I get all my shit through the meme site. Just I want to make that clear. I think TikTok is garbage. Oh, so okay, totems that unload and then reload are worth 1 because you've already claimed it technically. Okay, that's fine. I had that before. I was like, wow, it's stupid, shitty. Why is it 1? Off topic again. Some girl who like believed she was a cat, like she wore cat ears and shit. And she had like this scene kind of like look to her, but she had like, I guess she had like contact lenses and stuff, and she was licking herself, like licking her hands and shit. And she had her boyfriend give her like cat milk. And I had to explain that it wasn't milk from cats or milk made of cats because my fucking brother's an idiot. But milk for cats, right? Like milk made for cats, and that's fucking nasty. I can't imagine that shit's good for you. Right? Like, who fucking knows what's in a cat milk? I can't even begin to imagine what they would put in milk for cats. I don't know. The same thing I feel like, right? I feel like it technically wouldn't be bad for you to eat like dog food or cat food, but I feel like it'd be nasty as fuck. Like, 'cause people have intentionally or non-intentionally eaten animal food before. Like I've read pranks.
SURGESURF factory. Keep your eye out for Wiz while you're here. Let's see.
Like, I pranked my roommate by putting, look at this, looks like a fucking turtle. Pranked my roommate by, I bet you that fucking shell has fur on it, just so we're clear. Fuck fur in this game. And fuck my brain for getting so, distracted all the time. But, I just fucking, I can't. I don't think they're furry kids. Not really furry kids, right? Like, it's one thing, right? It's one thing to be a kid, right? If you're a kid and you're wearing like cat ears or something, or like bunny ears, or you want to bark like a dog, you want to play like, pretend, and you pretend to be a dog or something with your friends, whatever, right? I think pretending to be an animal as a child is a-okay. Fuck. I mean, I will begrudgingly, I was gonna say happily, I'll begrudgingly admit that when I was little, I used to play a lot of pretend Pokemon shit, right? So, like, we'd be like Pokemon and we'd fight and shit, right? We tend to be like, and that was cool to us for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe it was just joy playing with my friend. I don't fucking know, right? But, it wasn't sexual. That's for sure. We were like 8 or something, right? This is in like elementary school, so, you're a fucking child, like 3rd grade, 4th grade. And that's shit you do. I was probably like, definitely at least 3rd grade, right? At most 3rd grade, probably. At least 3rd grade. Right? I don't think we did it maybe a little bit in 4th grade. I don't remember, man. It's been forever, but it's dredging up some bad memories. No. It's fine memories. It's just like, it's kind of like admitting you were a smoker or something. Except for it's a lot weirder. Again, I'm not like, I don't identify as a Pokemon. To be fair, I've seen some very alluring pictures of Gardevoir, but that's because she's essentially human in those pictures, so, like, what's the difference? I'm not gonna fuck with Gardevoir, okay? Just so we're clear. I'll make that clear right now. It's not real. And if Pokemon were real, I wouldn't be fucking them. I'd be fucking battling them, because, it's something I could be semi-good at. Because I'm so bad at everything else.
Look at the notices on that board.
But, like,
No one paid much
I don't think they're
attention
kid
to what it
furries.
looks
Like,
Wiz should
a lot
be
of
around here
those...
somewhere, probably
Did my
taking care of his
automaton just
powers.
fall into the...
A SURGESURF factory was one of the cleaner ways to make power, until the surf turned into goo and clogged it all up, that is. The power comes from turning the movement of the surf into surge sparks.
Just the damn...
Sometimes science is beyond belief. There are sure to be more tracks around here, maybe by the shore.
But, fuck, I mean, still, I'd love to live in the world of Pokemon, To be able to, like, battle for your money and shit. Essentially living in, like, a... What What could this possibly be writing? A, taking the same buttons over and over again. B, is not like somebody's dictating anything. Are these wingdings? Can anybody get good enough view of them? No, that's definitely some kind of Asian text. Right? Maybe? It looks like some kind of Asian text. Just with very, like, poor font detailing, so it...
Toxanol's mining led to mass deforestation and increased global warming, as nature couldn't absorb the carbon dioxide and greenhouse gas emissions without the trees. These irreversible
Aren't
changes
trees
to
like
the
a very
climate
poor
also
source of,
contributed to
like,
the evolution and
carbon dioxide
modified our
removal?
genetic code.
Like, they're good, right? Don't get me wrong, but, like, aren't whales better or something like that? Because they absorb all that fucking carbon and they just sink to the bottom of the ocean. But, you know. I don't think kids are furries. Like, I don't think any kid, any child who is... Boy. At the very least before middle
Isn't
school...
easy on the tongue, but I think he says
To
he's
me-
happy to see a friendly face. Not too many of those around these
God,
days.
this looks he looks like a
Says
knockoff
it's
Pokemon.
good to see you again. He's Wiz. You might remember him from the old days when he let you try his octopod. Wiz remembers you as such a cheery kid, and he's glad to see that light hasn't faded from you, despite the years. But Wiz understands it was a long time ago, and memories get murkier the deeper you go. But says it helps to have friends with you to plumb those depths. It was a tragedy, but also sad that you chose to leave. It's a miracle you
Don't
made
got a
on the
choice, to
outside
be
on
honest,
your
though.
own. That land is harsh, they say. Wiz says our memory keeps things for us, preserves them until we are ready to face them again. He knows you've returned to face Lupa Lupin, and that confrontation is as inevitable as the tides. He's not surprised that the loss of your family could plunge you into the depths forever. But you've always been able to rise like a bubble to the surface, no matter what. He knows that though the tides of history may push, ultimately it's your choice. You were the one to be wronged and have lived.
It's not
with
really a choice, to be honest. It's already over,
He
so...
believes in consequences.
I guess I would have had to talk
as
to
it's a
everybody
direct
first.
result of action.
Everything's so bright.
I mean, sure,
Just close your eyes if reality's too much for you.
you're too...
Are those just eyes behind the fucking thing?
You're not used
Because
to
he has, like,
watching
really
a
weird,
winner.
bulging eyes. You think he does? That's
Asks
weird.
if you ever think about freedom and whether any of us really has it. Did you make the decisions that brought you here, or are you just a pawn of fate? Glad to hear that. He only wishes he was that sure about himself. Amazed the world is going to continue on, but happy to hear it. Still so many things to invent. Impressed that you fought so hard to keep the world spinning. Thinks you were smart to join with the Myriad. They have a rainbow of ways to approach any problem. Says they're unified in the ways that matter. But that's not nearly as important as this. Wiz says that you should let the past dwell in the depths. But there's something else down there too, gnawing at the Tree of Life. He's named it the Merc Puff. This is why he's tinker-tonkering with the octopod. But the lid got stuck, so he needs a big enough tug twister to open it up and let you a-going. He can't leave the Surge station, so you must help him find a tug twister. There's a wound-up mecha Fingro in the mecha stadium that still has one stuck on its back. Find it, and you'll find the tug twister. It's definitely made to lend a helping hand and do the heavy lifting. Toxanol records mention it as an automaton made for moving bionucleus matter into storage areas.
Bio and nucleus matter. But, yeah. I don't know. I had to have that conversation. I was one treated like a fucking like, you know, I don't know. I don't like my family personally. I think that once I finally be able to, like, finally get my fucking feet in the ground, which is, I'm definitely dragging on because, you know, it's not going to be a fun life. It ain't going to be a fun life, and I very much doubt it will be a short one. Unless my body gives out, which honestly might be a fucking... what's the word I'm looking for? Just, fucking... I don't know. I'm sure you can understand what I mean by this way I'm saying it. You know. But, I get the feeling that I'm going to be stuck on this ball of shit for a long time, so might as well make the most of it, you know? I just, I don't think I'm going to be talking to my family much once I'm gone. They're kind of a bunch of cocks. Definitely not my father. I'm not going to be gay because I've got daddy issues, but, you know, definitely not going to put up with his shit once I don't have to. He's a very, I gave birth to you, so you have to do whatever I say kind of guy. Right, like, he's not a very family... I don't think he's a person who should have had a family, personally. It doesn't seem like he gets along well with my mother. It's a literal wonder they haven't divorced yet. And, oh, I like my mother. You know, she's fine. I don't have any issues with her majorly. I mean, she's not perfect, but then again, what human being is? Though I honestly wish my dad would have a heart attack and die. So, you know, take that as you will. Though I'm not going to fall into that, what is it, like the 5 things that every gay does not possess all of these 5 things, and it's like good at math, a good relationship with his father, with their father. You know, it's like that TikTok video of the people like duetting it, I think it's called, and they all just put their fucking hand down at the father one. You know.
Impressed you found that, despite all the goo. This place has held power for a long time. In many ways it still does. That would require cleaning up all the goo. Glad you found that track.
I mean, it wouldn't be hard to clean up the goo with the mech. Right, the mech sucks up goo, so eventually it could be done. You know, all semi-jokes aside, it's not necessarily a joke, right? It's more of like just like state. Oh fuck! I mean, it's partially a joke. I'd say it's a joke overall, but definitely not gonna, you know, revolt upon degeneracy because of that. I wouldn't say I'm perfectly attuned in any kind of non-degeneracy stature, right? I'm just not that kind of degenerate, and not one who's going to make it everybody else's problem, that's for sure. I mean, fuck, back when I was friends with Jeremy and them, they fucking constantly talked about that weird kind of shit. Right? Like, oh, this is my fetish. Like, I don't really want to talk to you about that. That's kind of personal, A, and B, nasty to fucking share with each other. Like, it's one thing to, like, right, definitely will admit, I posted, like, you know, you found weird shit, right? You made, like, you know, yeah, like, you know, you do, like, gross out humor with your friends, right? Like, oh, I found this, like, oh, you like Sonic the Hedgehog? Look at this weird Sonic the Hedgehog kind of shit, you know? Or, like, the fucking pregnant SpongeBob with Shrek and the baby's Sonic and he's Jesus or something. I'm sure that, you know, with a little bit of Googling, you could figure out what the picture I'm talking about is specifically, but for the health, thank you. I've been getting my ass handed to me recently. But, you know, the picture exists. It's cringe. It is definitely cringe, not based at all. But, you know, definitely posted some weird shit because you go to Rule 34 and you're like, haha, you thought what you found was weird? Look what I found. And you fucking try to see where's the limit with how much you can fucking, you know, not how much you can stomach without barfing, I think is better than, you know, what you're willing to more what you're willing to look at, right? It's not like a fucking sexual thing, please. But they talked about that kind of like I don't want to talk about that. That's nasty. Like you don't need to know what I'm into and that kind of you know what I mean? And fuck, I really shouldn't even talk about it on YouTube to get in a little bit of trouble there, but not really. Right? Because so of course I, much as every other YouTuber now these days, has to set my videos monetization status information. Right, so one of the jeez Louise, man. One of the things is about adult content, which I always like. So it's just like certain topics, right? So like the adult topic one, the adult topics, the violence, the why is it to extend it once I get to the top part? But I always set those in the same, even if the video doesn't have any of that kind of stuff, like no adult themes. There's like we've definitely played a couple of games where either sex is mentioned or that kind of stuff, right? Just something where that kind of stuff could be an issue. I just set it that by default every time because these aren't made for children. Ooh, jeez Louise. It's not. I'm not. Because YouTube requires you to say like, oh, this video was made for children. And I obviously said they're not. I say bad words, right? You can't say like fuck within the first.
It's a cold zone. Even a thick coat of fur is enough.
You can't say fuck within the first minute of the thing. You can't have like a bad word on your what's the thumbnail? Right. I always set that like because that's why I try not to start off with bad words and then I devolve into my normal sailor tongue after that because I'm overall I don't mind cursing. It's kind of just natural at this point. So not a huge deal to me specifically, but to YouTube advertisers it apparently makes a difference. So I just make sure to set that stuff properly. Well, I set like that's my default, right? So that then if it didn't in fact contain it in some way, shape, or form, YouTube's not gonna get up my ass about having like you said there was a single mention of titty. Or you mentioned the word fetish, or like, just something that could be construed as adult content, And you're in big trouble, mister. So I'm fine with setting it that every time. As far as I'm aware, the income is more or less the same. It's not like I get a large amount of income anyway from YouTube, right? So I'm not overly concerned about missing on that kind of stuff, and I still do get the video game offers from like I think somebody signed us up for like signed the channel up for Game Key, some kind of Game Key subscription thing. Like, oh, try out this game on your channel and review it. But, I wouldn't say it's the best publisher I've ever seen. It's I think actually it's a publisher called Grab the Games. It's just that's the publisher's name. But I've gotten other ones to work for as well. So I mean, assuming they're not just looking at the old content, they more or less know what they're getting into. And I mean, I try to make it fairly clear about when I was given a game, right? And I try to be a little bit nicer about it, the game, when I am given one. But to be fair, I kind of like, I think we had this conversation before on I don't know if it was this game or it was. Sorry, I thought I saw something. I'm very like, I'm very like jumpy when it comes to like seeing things in the corner of my eye because we live in a very pest-based state in Florida. A lot of pests. It's a very big problem. But you know. What was I talking about? I make it very clear, you know, I've definitely done a couple of games that were gifted to me on the stream before. Like we did, what's it called? There was that I think it's called Monolith. It was like that space fighter, like Binding of Isaac-esque, like roguelike. You were a spaceship and you floated the room to try to clear a tower. It's pretty good. I mean, overall, I don't think I played a lot of it though. So take that as you will. I'm sure you could find it if you look for it. Nice. Ah. Well, we know what we're equipping when we get level 30. I think we're on our way to that one. I think we're level 29 right now, if I remember correctly, and I don't, so don't take me on that one. But you know, I remember talking about it because I think it was the game we played before this, right, where I was getting kind of like, I want this to end, I want this to be over. A lot of times, right, especially like even with this, you kind of saw it a bit with this game, was I tend to like try to find the best in a game, right? I always want a game to be good, and that's kind of fair, right? I always want a game to be good. And I think, personally, I do a little bit of tricking to myself to, like, oh, this game is better than it is. And then after, like, either after I'm done playing it, or, you know, after I've seen somebody review it, or, you know, I change my opinion a little bit based on that kind of stuff. Oh, so we're not even... I'm in the right fucking place. You know, it's like I think I used Broken Age as my example, right? Because I don't think the videos are ever put out. I think if I remember correctly, right? So back when the channel was Social Awkward Gaming, and Kira was our editor. I'm sorry, Kibit was our editor, and you know, all that stuff. What the fuck? You know, I recorded a series on a game called Broken Age, right? And no, the one that she fucked off was the cave, I think.
Wonder if there's anything still inside.
Right, so I think Broken Age was uploaded. I don't remember if I did it as a stream. I'd have to check, right? I'm A in combat right now, so maybe after combat's over. Now I kind of feel like I want to check on this just because I don't remember. And, you know, if I'm going to shit on somebody, I want to make sure to do it correctly, you know? I always like I like talking shit, right? But if I'm just talking a load of shit, then I'm not, you know, I'm not content with just talking loads of shit, you know? Fucking game and its bullshit replacement of my fucking consumables. I don't want any of these fucking things. I want it to be the fucking small health kit. Here's the thing, right? I fucking don't use any of these stupid fucking consumables. I could, and I probably should, but it's only like one fucking clip. Who cares? Am I dealing that much increased damage with each shot that I rolled in front of it? I'm gonna die at this fucking rate. I really wish my health kit worked again. Like, that was an automaton upgrade, and, you know, while they weren't exactly difficult to get or anything, it doesn't change the fact that it's annoying that it doesn't fucking work properly. Can I... I hate this. I hate this guy, and I want it to be over. I want this enemy to be dead. Like, to be fair, I asked for more enemy types. This is a different enemy type. The game has delivered what I asked for, but they've done it in such a way that I'd rather be dead. I'm gonna fucking scream. I hate this. I'm keeping my rage under control. Trying to keep my rage under control. Just trying to keep my rage under control. $118 was the highest I saw. It was $118, $174, or $117, $173. $191, $198. Why can't I look at my other rear? Can I, like, get rid of the pew-pew? Can I interact, please? Oh, boy. Yeah. I've burnt myself out talking too
You
much.
need to turn the pegs in sync. Just a few moves left. Make them count.
No, I think we're, you know, but...
You really
Oh, no, so I was talking about, I think it was The Cave, or it was, Broken Age. I think Broken Age got released, but it was a overly bad game, looking back on it, right? Because, the puzzles, it was a puzzle game, right? I liked it. I liked the first chapter was interesting, it was cool, had a cool story. It was about, like, you know, two kids who were trying to, like, find their way in the world separately, and then the stories intermixing, because, like, you know, one of them was in essentially a spaceship that was, like, kidnapping girls. Then one was a girl who didn't want to get kidnapped by a giant monster who was the spaceship. You know, she didn't know that until after she fucking blew the thing to shit, you know? But, I'm hitting the block button, but whatever. That was my own fault. I reacted too slow to those things. You know, it was a good game. It's evolved into a bad game because they made it like 2 chapters. Right, there was the first segment of the game and the second segment of the game. There was 2 definite acts, I think they called them. But the first act was a lot better. The second act required too much of like the player's knowledge. So basically, right, like the 2 stories were independent of each other. And then once like the girl blew up the boy's ship, she kind of got stuck inside, and they essentially traversed to help each other like get out of. She helped her get out of the ship before it blew up and stuff. But you wanted to stop it from exploding so that it didn't blow up the city next to it, And a lot of it required like having knowledge from the other side, which wasn't fun or interesting that way. It's basically like, you couldn't solve puzzle A without character B's puzzle C, So like, one character could like it just wasn't good, right? If you're in the market for a good puzzle game, not that one. The Cave was a fine puzzle game. If you want a puzzle game and you ever played an older puzzle game, The Cave. Right, The Cave was made by the same company, Double Fine, and is a lot better. Very good game. I don't think there's any, jeez. I don't think there's any gameplay of The Cave on this channel. Nor will there ever be, because I have completed that game proper. It means I got all the achievements, I've got all the achievements, that's really all that means, really. I like achievement hunting, right? And that's one of the games I got all the achievements for. So that would have claimed to a game's, replayability slash... Oh my fucking god! Jeez. Sorry, I had to focus there a little bit. Because they had a fucking flamethrower. It has a lot of replayability, right? So, like, you choose 3 characters to go through the cave in. There are, I think, like, 3 different segments that are the same for every character, right? So, basically, right, the whole story is about you going to the cave to, like, solve your problems, right? Like, you all have done something, and you need to either... decide whether you're going to redeem yourself or continue down the path of evil, essentially. Right? So there's doing the puzzles twice at least to get the full story for each character. Right? Because you can only get one. You can either only get the good or bad ending for each character each run. Right? And it makes sense. It seems a bit. The sentence seems a bit clunky, but it makes sense in my mind and hopefully in English proper. But, is that just like an empty hole down there? Nice. But, there's like, I think 9 characters or so. So you can play the game at least 18 times. Especially if you want to get all the achievements like I did. And then there's like, there's a couple of areas that are like repeats. So like basically, right, there's, the first character set of puzzles is like right there. It's like I think the first like 3 or 4 set of puzzles. Then there's like you do the mid. Oh, why did that not complete? So we can whatever. You do those like there's those puzzles. Then you do like a midway puzzle, right? Like an overarching puzzle. Then you do another set of character puzzle. There's another set of character puzzles you can do if you have a character. And then, you know.
Point a finger, but the Mecha Stadium is near here.
I don't know why I thought I could block that. How do you fucking jump from that far ahead? This is just a bigger version of the other one. You know. I think it's a good game. I mean, it's been a while since I played it, but I did go through and get all the achievements for it, so, you know. I at least played enough to do that. Granted, I did think I had to look up some of this information. It was kind of...
Locked up tight.
Kind of hard. But, plus, like, there's, like, have nobody die during the gameplay. So, basically, you can die in the cave, but you can't actually die in the cave, you know? Which is part of the gimmick of the cave. But, you know. I think it's a good game if looking for a puzzle game to play. But I did a whole recording series on that, right? So, I recorded, I think...
Just a few moves left.
I think like 3 or 4 videos worth of content for that game. I said it to Kira, and she said, this is too fucking boring to edit. I'm not doing it. And I said, well, that's kind of fucking rude, but whatever. I mean, it's essentially already in the editable. Like, I recorded it in chunks, so you wouldn't really have to edit it and everything, but, you know, she said, I'm not putting it on the channel, it's too boring. And, it's never uploaded. Or it's too boring for her, specifically. Right, so it wasn't about, like, you know, it being bad, it was just that it was bad, but she didn't like it.
You need to line up the switches so
It wasn't up to her amazing...
Just a few moves left. Make them count.
Well, to her amazing, you know, stuff. To be fair, she did get a lot more stuff on her videos, right?
That's enough electric.
But that's because, what, there was like that, there was that fucking full-on simp on our channel back in the day.
You need to loosen the bolts without unsettling it. Just a few moves left. Make them count.
So like, there was, I don't know if you've ever seen it. Well, obviously, probably not. But like,
That's it. The tug twister's loose. Let's hope it turned the grabbing hand into a helping hand, too.
But so there was a guy who was really simping hard for her voice on back in the day. Yeah, there's a guy she fucking banned because he's talking shit about her. But you know, I'm like, he's not entirely wrong. You know, there's a lot of girls who just do girls, like, you know, are getting a lot of views because they're just girls, and you know, this is the thing that happens. But she fucking banned his ass because, you know, she blocked him on the channel so he couldn't respond. She basically called him, like, saying a bunch of rude shit to him. But it's my channel now. So, you know, pretty sure I blocked him. Not that it matters, you know. I don't think the guy ever, you know, responded another thing on the channel, but, you know, why would you after being blocked for, like, what essentially amounts to 3 years? So what's the point of this? Can I can sell it whenever I want. I feel like this game is kind of like Star Wars, right? So like, if you ever heard about Star Wars trivia, right?
Of course, please.
And I'm not
Probably cleaned out, but you never know.
I'm not a person that really asks about Star Wars trivia. I'm not a big Star Wars guy, but I remember like a lot of people, like a lot of directors hated George Lucas because he used like all the cool ideas in one franchise, right? Well, not, he used a lot of cool ideas in one franchise so that nobody could use them, essentially. You know, stuff like, you know, the lightsabers, the types of the spaceships, the space opera theme, and all that stuff. And some people got mad at him for using all that kind of stuff together. That might be a misremembered fact, but I'm pretty sure that's real. But this game has a lot of like cool concepts, but I feel like it's just kind of mashing too much stuff in, you know? Like, what's the hand for? Do I really need a hand mount, you know? That's cool. Maybe you can shoot down maybe it shoots down a wall with its giant finger gun.
It's Bionucleus 10D. The contamination from these affected the DNA of everything that lived and breathed.
But it's like, you know, is it necessary to have a hand mount too? To be fair, the hand mount feels kind of like a DLC thing. Like, oh, we added in this weird mount. You know, it's a hand. I don't know. I don't know. I think I'm just getting critical of the game because I'm nearing the end of it, and I've been in a bad mood fairly recently. I mean, I haven't eaten anything today for, well, anything for dinner yet. I mean, it's 10:30. It's only 10:30? Jeez. I mean, I normally eat dinner at like 6, 7, or 8-ish, so not to say that
Let's see.
might not be a little bit upsetty because I haven't eaten, but I don't think that's the main problem behind it. I think it's just, you know, I'm kind of ready for this game to be over, right? And I mean that in a good way, kind of like, I don't know. I think it's one of those things where it's because I'm streaming this alone, right? Because I don't have chatters or anything, like anybody to talk to. Because I kind of, certain games are better, a little bit more quiet. And certain games are better with like kind of a distraction, right? So like a lot of times when I play video games, I play it with something playing in the background. Right, like I play CK3 videos playing and stuff like that. You know, any kind of, most any game really, I play with some kind of background noise. Fucking bitch. I'm not going to use 2, but whatever. I just wonder where all my health packs went, because I definitely registered like 11 of them, and I felt like it went down by a lot more than just 11. Buddy. Pick a side you want to fight me on. They should have color coding for those, they should have color coding for those parry, right? Like a yellow for parryable, but no retaliation, and white for parryable with retaliation. Right, because even if I parry this guy, all it does is prevent the attack. Which, granted, I'm not saying it's not useful, because, you know, being able to essentially deny out what amounts to 1,000 fucking damage, apparently. And he just kind of dance around a little bit instead of attacking for a bit. Pretty good. But I would like to know if I need to be spamming X after I get that parry off or not. Again, I feel like this would be a lot cooler if my idea was implemented into that. But again, I'm not going on another fucking 10-minute long rant about how that would definitely how my idea for that would be cooler. I don't need it. You don't need it. I don't need it. It doesn't have to happen. Okay. I think I have a cool idea for it, and like I said, Biomutant developers, you're making Biomutant 2, or you want to make a change to the game, you know, it's yours, man. Just take it. I don't mind. I'm gonna be honest. Even after I beat this game on stream, I'm probably gonna go back and play it to try to get the achievements. I'm definitely not gonna do it on stream. I don't know. I mean, well, I feel like achievement hunting would be a viable thing to do on stream. I think if I was going to do achievement hunting on stream, it'd be more of like the Stellaris ones or the Crusader Kings ones or that kind of stuff. Not Crusader Kings at the moment, because to be honest, I did play a little bit of CK3 on the channel. I think there's at least a couple videos of it. I definitely never finished anything though, because I am surprisingly bad at the game. I was decent at CK2, but like with CK3, I'm having a lot of issues of grasping, like, you know, when I'm supposed to attack people, or, you know, when, like, so just like, you know, whenever you when you attack somebody, right, and all of a sudden, either their fucking army wins somehow, even though they weren't supposed to, or just it's a lot of like stuff that I don't have a perfect grasp on, and I prefer to know a little bit better before I start streaming it, because I'm doing a lot of, like, personally, right, I'm gonna be honest, I'm doing a lot of safe scumming, right, because I'm trying to learn, right, so I think safe scumming is fine when you're trying to learn. It's also fine when you're going for an achievement, and something goes wrong, and you really want that achievement. I think right, if you safe scum and you get an achievement, it does take the distract from a little bit. Don't get me wrong, you probably shouldn't feel as accomplished as somebody who did it 100% legit. Not to say that I wouldn't, I mean, that I haven't safe scummed before to get achievements. Or, like, you know, because I definitely safe scummed, like, I safe scummed right before I turned into feudal, whether or not I wanted to, you know, go with that decision or not. I saved before major wars, just in case, even though I'm way overpowered compared to them, they somehow pull it out of their ass and beat me fucking to death.
Beefed up.
Somehow, like, I don't know if anybody ever played CK3 and you find that to be the case for you as well, where, like, you're winning and all of a sudden you've lost, it's over. I just have a lot of issue with that. I don't really think I need to pick up any of these other things, really. I could swap some of these out. You know what? I'll get my punch. I'm not promising to use any of these abilities, because, you know, if you've ever watched me play this game, I forget to press that button a lot. I don't know. I'm not exactly like this build does not exactly revolve around using my abilities. It's more of a melee focused build. But, you know, I could have picked, like, Psyfreak and done more of a... Swap me there, please. Please. What's that? I don't know. I think I need to get, if I'm gonna play it on stream, I need to be better at the game. It's like right when I like for example, I did a little bit of Slay the Spire or like that kind of stuff. I like Slay the Spire. I don't play it as much as I think I would want to, realistically. Then again, if I don't play a game, would that not entail that I didn't want to play it? I don't know. I think I'd want to play it more than I play it, more than I have, rather. Or I definitely want to be better at the game than I am, right? I like to Slay the Spire, but I will easily admit that I am not that good at it, and I wish I were better. And that doesn't say I watch streamers who are better than me at the game. You know, I just haven't improved that much myself. I'm not very good at deck building, especially when I don't know like what you want to add to a deck. You know. I don't know. I'm definitely not perfect. And I may be a pro gamer, but I'm not that kind of pro gamer. You know. Oh, man. I'm just a pro gamer. I make real money off doing this stuff. Maybe eventually. You know, maybe one day. I'll be a big boy.
Here is the village called Diddlingdoo by those lucky enough to live there.
Where's your piss point? Where's the piss point?
Even out here in the burbs, there are still places like that home that bear eyeballing better.
I like how there's a little town right there. And right next to the little town, there's a broken down house full of, like, tree monsters that nobody cares about. I can't tell if this gun is better or worse. I feel like it does more damage per hit, but it isn't hitting as much. Maybe I made it worse, you know, but, you know, we're here. It's gone. The other gun no longer exists. Maybe I should have crafted a new gun instead. Maybe I don't care enough to really put too much thought into it. Honestly. More? Come on, man.
That fixer-upper seems like it might be better as a pawn down.
I think if I lived in a village near a bunch of ruins, I'd either A, clean the ruins, or B, at least clear them out so that they're not full of monsters that might eat my children. That's just personal preference, though, you know? That's just a personal idea. Maybe, you know? Maybe animals have different crap. They do.
That muscles. Go grab the bar and start squeezing those muscles. You snap that off, feeling pumped up.
Ah, so the record for one was in a different other house. Okay. Guess that makes some sense. I didn't actually search this house, did I? I kind of went from one fight to the next without actually looking at any of the stuff. do I get up there? Dude, it's an electric plug. It's electric. Boogie, woogie, woogie. You can feel it. It's electric. What? It's a handle. Samurai. Glad I didn't come up here and then go over there, then come back. To be fair, I'd much prefer to do it in the order that I did it.
Move the arm to make the needle fit the groove. Give it another try. Just a few moves left. Make them count. This plastivinyl clue in a chit-chat code. Lucky I'm still old enough to decipher it. It's about an undercovered place, just a trip trek not far from here.
Just so clear, the guy is suggesting he's old enough to have spoken English and that he's alive. So I find that very weird that they've decided to take that direction with the...
Cries about they want to. Wonders if you might be a real hero, Kai. Thinks the looper you should be. Wants you to take figures only you have the pass. Seems content.
I'll tell him that I will, but I don't think I'm gonna go find whoever ate my son. I've gotta find out who ate my son. I hear his voice crying from the woods. Dad, please help, I'm lost! It's like the old "stop telling everybody I'm dead" meme. I can still hear his voice. Stop telling everyone I'm dead. Ah. I think my brain's kind of stalled, you know? Like a lot of things to talk about, more or less.
That's a fixer-upper. Individuals used to flip places like that. Imagine picking up a whole house.
So, my understanding, right, is that this game takes place in some place that's possibly China or Japan, right? Is it common to flip houses in non-Western civilization, or like, you know, countries? Because, like, you know, obviously, I obviously know there's, like, American house flipping shows, right? And I'm sure that there's at least one European house flipping show. But is that a thing they do in Japan?
You need to give the tensioners a matching adjustment.
It just didn't feel like something that would happen a lot, mainly because, like, you know, they talk about, like, not having enough people.
Delicious. You're full of pluck.
But, you know, maybe I'm just being stupid. But, you know. Is there... I guess, I mean, obviously, I'm sure somebody flips houses in Japan. At least one person. It just, I don't know. To me, house flipping is such, like, a novelty thing, right? Because, like, you have to have the money for it, and this, that, and the other, and blah, blah, blah. But, you know. You have to know how to do what you're doing, you're going to hire people. It's probably a lot of capital to put down. I just wonder, like, you know, is it that profitable? I imagine it would be. I don't know. I guess the hard part about house flipping would be the fact that, like, you know, your neighbors can affect your house value. Right, so what good is, like, flipping a house if, you know, there was an old, like, post about some guy who, like, constantly shot up in the air, like, once a week or once a month, every shot up in the air to keep house prices down. And everybody's just used to it at that point, you know?
He He believed the tug twister would do the trick, but now realizes brute force won't do the trick. You need something slick. Well, he means slick as in greasy, so you can lube the hinges of the lid. He can't argue against the fact your fur's shiny. He says the lid should open if you sprinkle grease it. Problem is, he's all out. He knows his old friend Choo Choo always keeps his grease sprinklers well filled. He should have an extra that you can borrow. He stresses that you should come back as soon as you've retrieved the grease sprinkler. Wiz heard he's currently stranded at the end of the line, so it should be easier to track him down now compared to when he's running rails.
Oh. It's called Choo Choo because of the train. I get it. I understand it. Jeez Louise. How did I pass through all these places and not once? Not once. You get a marking point. There. Oh God, no, please. What the fuck is that monster to be? Like, it's not one of those, like, you know, Day of the Dead skulls and whatnot, but it looks like a fucking ape's one. No, 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 no. What? Oh, I'm gonna drown. Why can't the glue glide be fucking spawned in the water? Jeez Louise. Honestly, I don't think I'm gonna be able to edit tonight because I'm getting fucking tired. I don't know what's. I think maybe just a bad night's sleep last night. That's fair. Honestly, I don't think I slept very well. And when I woke up, I really wanted to go back to sleep, but I just could not. I think we're gonna end a bit early. I'm not even wait for the save to load. Thank you for watching. Sorry for the shorter video, but you know, really, who's keeping track? And people kind of prefer a semi-shorter video, but you know, that's fine. Tomorrow is more Pathfinder. If we play tomorrow. See y'all then. Well now. Yeehaw. Right, I'm cowboy. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm gonna go now before I make a bigger cloud of myself. See ya.